Good morning นะครับ everyone. Firstly นะครับ we have like in this term we have just like couple of what to say class cancellation นะครับ in especially in October นะครับ so on the last Wednesday I was sick นะครับ that was like one cancellation. The next one นะครับ this coming Wednesday it's a public holiday and MUIC doesn't allow us to make up class on Wednesday because I mean like on just like other on other public holidays we may be able to just like use that day as the regular class, but actually on this coming Wednesday this is the public holiday about the royal family นะครับ the what to say the memorial day for what to say the pass away of the late king นะครับ so that's why we cannot have the class on this coming Wednesday, and also on the next Wednesday, okay, let me just take the date. Next Wednesday as well. Next Wednesday, I have the appointment with the doctor. So we have to cancel the class again. So that's why I will have to schedule the makeup class for all of us. So in which way that I'll do, I will just like send you the Google form in the line group so that you can fill up the Google form for me tell me that which day and what time that you have class the time and date that you have class so that I can schedule the I will schedule the time that most of you are available or just like it might be possible if we can just like all of us can meet each other, but I mean like I know that some of you may have to just like study on another subject on the time that we have to schedule the makeup class. So in that case it's unavoidable, then I'll just like let you watch the video instead that I just post that I will post on YouTube anyway okay. So unfortunately we cannot avoid this so that we can just like study for the part that we need to do before our midterm examination okay, right. Then for this kind of the class like the makeup class or the class rescheduling as I told you, I'll post on our line group and it should be on our line group to let you put the date and time that you have class I think I can do it tonight so that you can just like let me know, and if possible try to just tell me by tomorrow so that you so that I can just set up the class and let you know as soon as possible okay, right. Now let's come back to talk about Microsoft Excel that we studied on the last class on the last class we study for nested if we study for nested if and you can see that whenever we have to use the nested if the things that you have to do is that you have to just like try to make your logical tests to serve for what you need. For example, in this one we created the nested if to find out the grade of a student when there are like possible grades that you may assign to the student according to the score that they received. In this one we say that okay, if the student receives less than 60 points he or she receive fail from 60 to 80 it's pass, 81 to 100 it's good. So the way that you have to do is that you have to apply the knowledge from the if function to help because from the basic if the way that we do is that we have just logical test and value if true, value if false instead in I mean like in the regular arguments. But whenever you have more than one option นะครับ or more than one alternative to go นะครับ or more than one way to go in this one instead of having just value if true and value if false you may put the if condition นะครับ to replace value if true or value if false and we have another set of if inside instead นะครับ for example in here we say that okay for the grade that we just like calculate in here we say that okay if the score that we want to evaluate is less than 60 that person is fail okay this one is easy because it's at the border otherwise it means that otherwise means on the other way around if the score is not less than 60 that means the other way around is not less than means greater than or equals to so that's why we put the another if in here to check whether the score is less than 80 less than or equal to 80 or not and then we just like continue evaluating this now I just like want to talk about this example in detail again so that you can have tools in order to help you to understand more about the if function especially for the nested if there are two tools that I'll introduce to you that we may be able to use them okay let's see the first tool is you have to know that if it is the evaluation if it is the evaluation about the numbers like this you can use number line to help you can use number line to help so how can you use number line to help in this one let's see we firstly we just draw the line first after that you just like try to put try to put what to say the score the points the number points in here that you see from this table into that number line so in this case we have number 60 80 81 100 these are 4 different numbers when we put these 4 values in here 60 80 and then I need to have 100 as well okay then I just put these 3 numbers in there but what about 81 you can see that this is a trick because 80 and 81 they are very close to each other here so I decide to use 80 instead but for number 81 I don't put it here but I use the symbol to symbolize the value that is in the range of 80 and in the range that is not in 80 that is I mean in 81 so in here I will use the line the arrow and also the circle to help if that value includes that number you use the dark circle if that number or if that range is outside or is excluding from that number you use white circle okay so and then we just draw the line to help linking that range for example in here we say that for the score that is less than 60 that person will be failed in this case less than 60 so less than means that you don't include 60 right you have the white circle first after that you just like drag the line the arrow to be on the direction of less than 60 this is in here on the left hand side so that means the score that is less than 60 we represent it by using we use this one to represent okay this one means less than 60 and then you just like put fail in here okay next is that when we talk about the next range that is between 60 to 80 60 to 80 you can see that between 60 to 80 that person get pass so when we say that okay 60 to 80 in here 60 to 80 in here so 60 means that it includes 60, right? Because in here it's from 60. So our number line นะครับ we use here the dark circle นะครับ that is number 60. 280. 280 we also include 80 as well, so 80 will be dark circle too นะครับ 80 will be dark circle too. So in here and then we just like draw the line นะครับ between 60 and 80 in here. So you get this line ครับ and make sure that all of the circle here for this one is dark circle นะครับ. So this one means a person who get passed. After that, for the last range นะครับ for the last range we say that it's from 81 to 100. From 81 to 100 in here นะครับ it's a bit tricky because how can you make it to be different from 80? 81 is not 80 นะครับ but in here the range นะครับ the last one, the last point is 100 here นะครับ you may just like put the things like this ครับ okay. The black circle here at 100 นะครับ the dark circle here is 100 while 80 นะครับ because it's 81 that means it's not 80 for sure. You have to exclude 80 from this range นะครับ so what about like somebody say that can I do like this? Somebody may say that I want to do here นะครับ instead of having 80 I want to start from 81 นะครับ this one is okay too นะครับ if you say that okay you use this one as 81 นะครับ okay. to 100 but the point that I'll tell you is that if you just like put the 81 you have more evaluation in the if ครับ so that's why the thing that we may do is that if we use the top one is easier นะครับ this one is easier. This one is optional. If you want to do like this, it's okay too, but it makes your if to be just like a bit more complicated นะครับ so if you have the number line that are just like overlapping like this, it is easier in order to prepare นะครับ in order to prepare our if นะครับ after that นะครับ what are we going to do when you have the number line already นะครับ the next thing I will introduce the next tool to you that will be useful นะครับ we call it as flowchart. Flowchart is a way that use symbols นะครับ to show us that okay the flow of decision making, the flow of data, what should we do นะครับ so for the flowchart นะครับ some of you might be familiar with the flowchart นะครับ during your high school or in other courses before นะครับ but this one we use the flowchart in the nested if to make our writing of the function to be easier. So let me introduce you for the flowchart symbol that we have to use นะครับ okay. So these are like the flowchart symbol that we have to use นะครับ first one นะครับ is the what to say the elliptical one นะครับ or the rectangle with the rounded corner here. When we start or when we finish any flowchart นะครับ we use this symbol นะครับ we have to use this symbol this one and then you write the word start or stop or begin end inside นะครับ or start finish นะครับ to symbolize that this one is the starting point or the stop point of our flowchart นะครับ the example is like this นะครับ you write the start inside something like this. next นะครับ next symbol นะครับ is the parallelogram in here it's input นะครับ. Input, what does it mean? It means that if you input any data into this cell, if you input some of the data นะครับ to be processed later นะครับ we use this parallelogram symbol นะครับ for example we may say that input score in B46 something like that นะครับ after that okay we have the diamond shape. Diamond shape, this one is specifically for if นะครับ in this one is for decision making you write the logical test inside the box นะครับ inside the diamond and then you branch out นะครับ one side is true the other side is false like this for example we have to make a decision that okay if B46 is less than or equals to 80 นะครับ if it's true you go to one way if it's false you go to the other way นะครับ true or false can be switched นะครับ no need for true to be on the left false to be on the right นะครับ you can switch or somebody may say that what if I want to because you may say that the space in the paper is limited then you may just like do like this ครับ true is in here นะครับ while false go to the right hand side something like this it's okay too นะครับ all right next นะครับ apart from true false like this already นะครับ in here you can see that whenever we make a decision already we have a process as well นะครับ the next one the what to say the rectangle here นะครับ is to process or to compute or to calculate นะครับ so when you would like to calculate something นะครับ doesn't matter whether it's a function for calculation whether it's just like the calculation formula like in terms of equations you use the rectangle like this and you write down the formula นะครับ or you write down the processing or calculating value inside so like for example if you say that okay a equals to B46 equals to 3 plus 7 something like that or we may say that okay if this one is for is the sales calculation commission calculation you may say that okay commission equals to sales multiplied by 0.05 something like that that can be the formula as well that I'll show you in the example next on next นะครับ this one look like a pencil shape in here this one is called display if you want to display anything you just write the value to be displayed inside นะครับ for example if you say that you want to display the text pass you just type pass in the double quote inside this pencil shape นะครับ you can write grade is pass something like this or B47 is pass นะครับ something like that or display B47 something like this you write it down in this pencil shape next circle in here นะครับ for the flow chart it means you want to connect something together นะครับ we call it as on page connector it means that if you would like to connect anything inside the same page นะครับ you want to connect the flow นะครับ from one side to another side นะครับ you just like connect them by using this circle นะครับ but if you say that okay you want to write down this flow chart and this page is full already you may use this shape นะครับ the pentagon in order to represent the off-page connector and then you just write down the connecting point for example point A you write down A in here and when you go to another page you also have the same pentagon shape and call A as well to connect the line or the data flow from the previous page to this page okay like this and the last one is flow of data the flow of data is the arrows นะครับ that can go to any direction นะครับ according to the flow of calculation or processing นะครับ same as this one you have the flow of the data go to two different sides true or false like this นะครับ these are like the important flowchart symbols that we have to use in this class นะครับ so how the flowchart is useful for you when you have to just like make a decision นะครับ actually it's not just in our class นะครับ you can also apply the flowchart with other subjects as well นะครับ for example suppose I mean like if you have to go for internship or if you have to go to work นะครับ and you would like to prepare นะครับ the process inside your, let's say in your office. For example, if you say that, okay, I want to prepare the flow of the, what to say, messengerนะครับto send the parcelนะครับto our company, especially for the COVID-19 period. What should we do? For example, we say that, okay, firstly, scan the temperature first. After that, go to register on the QR code. After that, just like drop the box on the table and before you leave, then just ring the bell and then you can go, so that someone can just pick up that parcel. Then you can represent these operations by using flowcharts like this. So when you have this kind of thing, flowchart will be useful, especially when you have like many steps to do, so that other people will not be confused. Same as our problem of the nested if, because nested if we have many decision making happen, many logical tests. So that's why I just like use flowchart to help. In the past, when we had the exam in the paper in the college on campus, what I told the student was that, okay, in the exam, during the exam, student will receive like the exam papers, right? I told them that, okay, for any question that is related to if or nested if, just like use the exam paper as a scratch paper and then just draw the flow chart, because it will make your life easier. You can calculate anything easily. So same as in our exam, if you have to, I mean, like for sure we have the nested if for sure, then you can use a piece of paper and pencil to sketch your flow chart. It will make your if to process smoothly. Now let's see for the problem of the nested if in here to calculate for the grade. What do we have to do? So in this one, let's see. I just put the what to say, the number line here so that you can see what are we going to do. The number line is from this table that we had in the problem text before. Then I just make it to be the number line like this. After that, I said for this one I will start. I use this symbol the elliptical in here, and then I type start in here. Assume that the score I have to put is in B45, let's say. Okay, in here I want to check the score for Alice. I start from Alice first. Score is in B45. Then I say that, okay, I input score in B45 first. Yeah, okay. Then I start making a decision. When I have to make a decision, I have to use the diamond shape in here, and I start from what? Firstly, when I have to start, okay, I use the number line to help. I use this one. 60 is the first point for making a decision. You can see that in here, if you remember, I draw the white circle and the arrow to the left hand side. This for anyone who have the score in this range will be failed. And you can see that for the white circle here, it means that we exclude 60, right? So when we change this one to be decision making, I said that if B45 is less than 60, this one means is less than 60. I say that, okay, if it's true, if it's true, that means if that person's score is in this range, the grade is fail. The grade is fail, and then I finish it. Otherwise, if the score is not in this range, you can still not making a decision, because it can be either pass or good, right? So you have to continue checking. When you continue checking, you can see that in here, the second line is in here. Okay. You say that, okay, now you don't need to consider 60 anymore because you test it already in this diamond shape. Now you consider this one, the point, the maximum point. The maximum point is 80 and we include 80, right? So the score for anyone who should pass this course must be less than or equals to 80 less than or equals to 80. Because as I told you, in this range we check already in this range we check already. So that's why we just check less than or equals to 80 only. If it's true, you say that grade is passed because it falls to this one. If it's false, you may have to continue checking, because this one you can see that when you check or when you just do the checking, the last range is here. If it is greater than or equals to 80 means that okay, it is not less than or equal to 80 for sure. It's greater than, not equal to, sorry, it's greater than 80 for sure But anyway, for the point that you stop is here. If B45 is less than or equals to 100 in here, I put the dark circle here, then the grade is good, go to this part But if it's not less than or equals to 100, means that if it is greater than 100, the grade is error something like this. And then you just when you say that it covers all of the score already when it covers all of the score already in here, then you just draw the lines to connect with the circle in here, and then you can stop. For this flow chart, I'll just send you the file in the line group later. And also, sorry, I better just upload on our e-learning so that everyone can just access to this one. Okay, so and then we stop. So in this one from the flow chart like this what is the usage of the flow chart? When you have the flow chart already, I will change the flow chart to be our if to be our nested if. So the tools that I always recommend you to use is the Notepad program, or in Mac we may use the text edit in order to just represent to type the function in. If you remember, okay, let me just here. I just start with if first. In here, the way to start is that I start from the diamond shape here because I have the score located in B45 already. This one I have to change it to be the if function. I said if B45 is less than 60 in here. If it's true if you remember, we have value if true comma value if false, right? This is the basic if function that we have got. Okay, so when we have this already, value if true, I said that I will type fail. But value if false, you can see that for value if false, you still have to continue checking in here, right? I will just convert from value if false here to be the next if. Let me type if in capital letter so that you know this is the if. Okay. And then I just open and close. We have logical test, value if true, and value if false. In here, this is the thing that we need to have in the second if. For logical test in here, I said that B45 is less than or equals to 80. I just convert directly from the flowchart to be this one. Value if true for this logical test tool is that grade is pass. The grade is pass. Then I just type pass to replace value true. but for value if false นะครับ for value if false you can see that we don't stop checking we can still we still have to compare นะครับ B45 with 100 so in here instead of having value if true directly you have another if to replace value if false number 2 I have logical test 3 value if true 3 value if false 3 in here นะครับ this is the thing that we need to have and then I start substituting logical test 3 by this diamond shape I say that if B45 is less than or equals to 100 then I say that okay if it's true นะครับ the grade is good นะครับ the grade is good here so I just type for value of value of if true number 3 I said that it's good for value if false what do we have to do we just show grade is error นะครับ and we have no more checking นะครับ we just stop it when we stop that means this one can be stopped too นะครับ when we get this one already นะครับ when we get this one already now we just start checking is everything is okay already or not this one is logical test number 1 นะครับ comma this is value if true number 1 นะครับ and the rest of them will be value if false number 1 okay after that นะครับ we have this is if number 2 this one is logical test number 2 นะครับ pass is value นะครับ if true number 2 and the rest of them นะครับ will be value if false number 2 and lastly B45 less than 100 in this case this is logical test 3 and good is value if true 3 error is value if false 3 นะครับ okay this is the thing that we have got now you can see that we have every single arguments นะครับ from these nested if already before we finish นะครับ the things that is important is the matching pair of parentheses so firstly ครับ I start from the innermost first that is logical test sorry is if number 3 you can see that for if number 3 we have the parentheses like this is left parenthesis that means this one is the right parenthesis of the third if now the second if for second if we have left parenthesis here then the right parenthesis of second if is here lastly for the first if we have left parenthesis here and the matching left parenthesis for the third for the first if is here so they have to be matched นะครับ if you don't have the matching parenthesis what will happen Excel will help you to fix but make sure that okay when Excel help you it doesn't mean that the decision making of Excel will be correct because sometimes the nested if is quite complicated and it's based on your decision it's not based on what Excel standard syntax has got นะครับ because sometimes somebody may say that okay I put in the other way around I have like the score to be tested different from another one so when Excel try to help it knows that you need to have 3 parentheses then when you have just 2 it adds another one for you that might not be the correct one นะครับ so you have to be careful try to check the syntax by yourself first so that's why I told you that okay if you just like use notepad or text edit to help it will be the great one นะครับ so when you got this one already นะครับ what is the next step the next step is that I just copy this one นะครับ and then go to my Excel นะครับ and then use the cell to just like paste my function นะครับ in this step you have to be careful too นะครับ when I copy this one I go to Excel นะครับ the way that you have to do is that you have to double click on the cell that you want to paste first and then paste this function in press enter what's wrong why do I have to double click the cell when you double click the cell it means that you are editing that cell นะครับ before you paste everything that you paste will be in that cell นะครับ correctly but somebody does like this they copy นะครับ from notepad and after that they paste it here this one is wrong นะครับ you can see that it seems like all of your functions will be pasted in 4 cells นะครับ line by line in this one you can see that in our notepad we have 4 lines then it just like copy into 4 cells นะครับ so the first cell is if b45 less than 60 comma and then close parenthesis this one is absolutely wrong นะครับ so the things that we have to do is that we have to double click on the cell and paste it or somebody said that okay they want to click on the formula bar and paste it นะครับ it's correct one or somebody said that they want to make all of the function into one line first นะครับ so in this one you may just like press delete นะครับ to make everything to be in the same line like this and then copy so in this one when you do it already you can paste in Excel นะครับ like this without any problem okay so in this one นะครับ in this one when you get this example already นะครับ you can see that okay let me just send you this one in the chat box นะครับ okay and after that we can just like do it for every single cell นะครับ okay here so in this one นะครับ in this one you have to be careful a bit even though your calculation is correct but you can see that the point that may cause your your output to be wrong is like this you can see that the correct grade should be I mean for 5 different people it should be pass good pass and good but in this one the 4th person who is Mandy she got good grade ครับ and you can see that anyone who get 80 นะครับ should be just like get the passing grade only so in this one you have to check what's going on นะครับ one thing that you have to think is about นะครับ the score นะครับ that person should get must be the rounded score นะครับ because you can see that if you don't put the score นะครับ to be just the rounded one นะครับ it makes the calculation for if to be wrong นะครับ so that's why you have to be careful about this นะครับ you have to be careful about this okay right okay now let's see นะครับ what if I just have one person whose score is 101 what should be happen นะครับ in this one it shows error score input นะครับ it shows error score input let's see the things that we have got in the new what to say the new thing that I have got นะครับ in here it shows error นะครับ because I said that okay it shows error นะครับ in here it's the same thing as we did on the last class นะครับ in here it should just like report accordingly นะครับ for the grade that student receive okay right okay let me just save my Excel file first sorry my PowerPoint file first just in case that you want to just have a look at it ครับ I just like give it to you on the chat box first นะครับ and then for I mean the formal one I just like paste it in sorry I will just like upload it in our e-learning นะครับ so that you can just like have a look on it okay right so up to this point do you have any questions about this example ครับ everyone All right. So if you don't have any questions, if you don't have any question, let's continue talking about the next thing. Okay. The next thing that I want you to do is the nested if as well. Is a nested if as well. But in this one, I want you to try by yourself. Okay. Assume that we have the information of the sales representative like this. Let me just copy this example for you in the chat box, everyone. I copy one column at a time. I'm sorry, the sales amount, I'll just change the format first. Otherwise, it might go wrong in your copy paste. Okay, let me just do it again. For the column sales amount, please use the new one. And then for years of work, right? Okay, this is the data that we have got. The things that I want you to do is that I want you to calculate the bonus rate, the bonus rate and the bonus amount for each person. Okay, so how do we gonna calculate? In this one, there is the information for the bonus like this. The bonus will be calculated according to number of years that the person work with us. Okay. Let me explain to you now the table of the bonus is in your chat box already. Let me explain to you first before you can do this example. From the example here, you can see that we have the table that is the main table here that I want you to fill up bonus rate and bonus amount. The bonus rate can be calculated by comparing the years of work of that person. On the second table is a table to tell you about the bonus rate for different years that the salesperson serve us. If that person work less than 1 year, bonus rate is 3%. From 1 to 5 years, 5%, and more than 5 years, 7%. Okay, so I want you to calculate the bonus rate here in column E on my screen like this. Use the if function to calculate, and then for the bonus amount, you multiply bonus rate with sales amount in here just calculate the bonus amount like this, and then fill up in this one. For example, for Andy, he works 0.5 years, that is less than 1 year. Then the bonus rate for Andy is 3%. Sorry, 3%. Amy, 1 year, 5%. Joy, 3 years, 5%. Pam, 2 years, 5%. And Dion, 6 years, more than 5 years, she should get 7%. And then you just multiply the bonus rate by sales amount like this. The answer that you should get should look like this. Okay, so in this one, I want you to use if function, use nested if to find the bonus rate. Okay, so in this one, I want you to find the bonus rate and the bonus amount for these people. For this one, I give you 7 minutes. 7 minutes to do. Everyone, please find the bonus rate and bonus amount for me, please. And if you get the answer already, please type your formula. Copy your formula and paste it in the chat box so that I know you finish it already. นะครับ okay please start now ครับ just try 7 minutes นะครับ everyone okay okay ครับ everyone so right now I think couple of you showed me the answer already นะครับ for the functions that we have got ครับ so right now นะครับ okay just let me share you my screen again so these are just like what we have นะครับ these are what we have for our นะครับ for our requirements นะครับ okay so let me just like show you how we're gonna do that นะครับ in this one you can see that whenever we need to set up this table นะครับ the way that I usually do นะครับ I just like use my I just use my flowchart to help นะครับ and number line to help too ครับ in this one okay let me just modify this one a bit so you can see that for the table that we have to think is that we have like numbers that we have to decide นะครับ 1 year 5 years นะครับ there are just 2 numbers นะครับ that we have to consider only so I put 1 years and 5 years here okay after that we say that okay for the bonus rate less than 5 less than 1 year we give that person 3% นะครับ so this is less than 1 year right okay we give that person 3% so I put 3% here okay the next one นะครับ we said that 1 to 5 years 5% 1 to 5 years yeah okay that means we include 1 and we include 5 yeah okay this is 5% and the last one more than 5 years we give the bonus to that person for 7% okay okay this is more than 5 years we exclude 5 yeah so we have like all of the applicable range of the bonus rate already okay ครับ so after that the next step that I'll do is that I will just like try to make this one as the flow chart okay. Okay, assume that in here the bonus rate in here in my cell E55 will be checked from C55 okay then I say that okay input sales amounts in C55 yeah okay. After that I just start comparing นะครับ I just start comparing the first one I say that okay I'll do this I will consider this one if the sales I'm sorry if the year is less than or equals to 1 year นะครับ if the year is less than not equal to is less than 1 year okay then I say that okay if นะครับ if C55 นะครับ is less than 1 so that I'm justifying for 3% right if it's true นะครับ okay bonus is 3% sorry 3% okay after that I consider the second range in here นะครับ so I have to consider on this point นะครับ because we passed this check already so it means that when the C55 is not less than 1 it means that greater than or equals to 1 yeah but right now we say that okay if it's less than or equals to 5 นะครับ less than or equals to 5 we will give 5% instead. Okay. Okay. If it's true นะครับ if it's true this person will receive 5% นะครับ okay. Lastly นะครับ in here นะครับ if it's false means that it's นะครับ go over 5% already นะครับ in this one you can see that we have no longer checking in here because the statement just said like that นะครับ if it's over 5 years we give 7%. Then I say that bonus is 7%. And then I can stop in here. I can stop because we have the decision making to be like this. So when I just like convert this flow chart นะครับ when I convert this flow chart to be if นะครับ to be our if I just use if นะครับ logical test 1 value if true 1 value if false 1 okay. In here I said that okay if C55 is less than 1 นะครับ it's logical test 1 is C55 is less than 1 year okay. For value if true I can state I can specify directly that value if true is that okay bonus is 3% ครับ for value if false we continue checking นะครับ we continue checking by having the second if. So in here I need to have logical test 2 value if true 2 and value if false 2 นะครับ in here to substitute the value if false 1. So logical test 2 is that I test C55 which is less than or equals to 5 years นะครับ value if true is 5%. Value if false is 7%. And then we have no longer testing anymore. We stop. That means we can stop our if as well. So in this if, we have just 2 if นะครับ in the nested if only นะครับ all right. Then this one will be inside our cell นะครับ for calculation in here. Now let's see นะครับ if I just put this one into my cell here. Okay, you can see that in here there's something wrong. Oh, it must be D-doc 55, not C55. I'm sorry, I did something wrong. D55 นะครับ not C55 in here. So you can see that okay for Andy he worked less than 1 year นะครับ so he got 3%. Yeah, that's correct. Amy worked for 1 year. She got 5%, same as Joy and Pam. 3 and 2 years are in the second range here. That's why they get 5% for their bonus. And lastly, for Dion, she worked 6 years. That is more than 5 years. So that's why she got 7%. In here. This is my function that I have got. So I just copy my function for you in the chat box. So let me just like have a look for what you answer in the chat box a little bit. Let me just analyze for you. Okay. So first one. Okay, let's see this one. I got from Suthida นะครับ let me just show you what happened. This is for what Suthida said นะครับ okay. D55 yeah okay in here นะครับ he said that okay D55 is less than 1 got 3% yeah then have second check if the 55 less than or equal to 5% is 5%, and the last one 7%. Otherwise, error. Otherwise, error in here, what does it mean? In this one, in which case that the 51 is not greater than 5. So it must be less than or equals to 5. That goes to like other rates. So you don't need to check because you passed all the check already. It's impossible to have the error case in here for what you see in this one. So you don't need to check and show error anymore because in this case it doesn't happen for the value that is less than or equals to 5 because you check on everything already. Less than or equals to 5 will go to this one will go to either this one. It will not go to other cases. So that means if it's not 7% here, that means if it does not go to this branch, it goes to other branches anyway. So that's why in here you don't need to have the third checking. You don't need to have the third checking for Suthida. A little bit more, everyone, please be careful about this. Let me have a look. Sorry, let me show you in here. For what happened is in here, everything seems to be okay except this one. 3%, 5%, and 7%. These are numbers, right? When they are numbers, double quote like this is wrong. This one means text. Whenever you have double quote, it means text. For the numbers, you have to type just 3% like this only. So what happened if it is a text? When it is a text and you try to multiply the text, when you try to multiply the text with some numbers, it is non-calculatable. For example, I multiply sales amount with this percentage. You can see that for my Excel version, it held fixing, but not with every other Excel software. The older version, when you type it as the text, when you multiply with numbers, it will be the error. So don't do like this. If you think that it is a number, then you just write 3% only without double quotes. Everyone. So the next one from Kanin Wong Kulakiat. Okay. This one is okay, except 3%, 5%, and 7%. Same problem with the first one. Be careful. If it is just 3%, that is the numbers. Percentage is the numbers too. Then you must not enter double quotes. Okay. Yeah. And then for the last one from Nat Danai, let me have a look. From Nat Danai. Okay, this is what Nat Danai have for us. Okay. Same problem, percentage. You don't put the double quote. Okay. Okay, this one is okay. That is okay too. Yeah. Okay. So these are just like the way that we do with the nested if. Okay. So everyone up to this point, do you have any questions for the nested if? For anyone who still don't have the nested if solution, just use my formula that I gave it to you, in order to try on your from this example once again, and you can also just like start doing in our exercises already that I'll assign to you. So the next thing, after we talk about the if and nested if already, there are two more functions that you have to use with if and nested if. Sorry, we have and, or, and not. These are three functions that we can use in combining นะครับ with if function นะครับ let's see these three functions first นะครับ what are the syntax of these three functions นะครับ and how can we use it นะครับ okay for example นะครับ let's start with and function first I click on the fx นะครับ to insert function and then just type and ครับ for the and function here and followed by logical 1 logical 2 comma dot 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 นะครับ so in that means inside the and function นะครับ it needs to have the logical test นะครับ it needs to have logical test if you remember นะครับ if you remember the logical test that we have got นะครับ in the previous function นะครับ was just like this okay ครับ C55 is less I'm sorry C55 is less than 1 this is logical test C55 is less than or equal to 5 this is logical test so and needs the logical test like this นะครับ okay so let's come back to our and function นะครับ apart from the and function or and not work in the same way นะครับ or and not work in the same way you need to have okay let me just like talk about or function นะครับ for or function need to have logical 1 logical 2 that means the argument inside or function is the logical test as well นะครับ now what about not for not function นะครับ it needs logical test inside นะครับ okay for not function it just reverse นะครับ the answer from false to true from true to false นะครับ for example if we say that got to say inside the logical test is that today is Monday นะครับ for today is Monday you can see that okay the fact is that today is Monday right so today is Monday return true to you if you say that not นะครับ and the logical test is today is Monday not today is Monday return false instead นะครับ because today is Monday right so in this one นะครับ how do we gonna use and or and not for and or and not like this นะครับ we have to use it whenever we just like say that okay we want to do something นะครับ that we have more than one condition นะครับ if you remember let me just like go back to the very first example นะครับ okay sorry let me just have a look yeah okay example number 3 if you remember นะครับ we had this example นะครับ before let me just talk about the example here นะครับ okay. you can see that for the example that we have got นะครับ in that one I say that okay I better copy this whole example here in this example นะครับ if you can remember we said that I asked you before that okay class which day that you normally schedule yourself not to have class you say that okay Friday okay so you can see that in here นะครับ somebody asked me that hey what if we schedule นะครับ ourselves to have Friday นะครับ as well as Thursday not to have class so you say that okay apart from Friday Thursday is as well you don't have class too what should we do with the if you can see that for if here นะครับ for if you can see that if you just like use if at most you can check with 1 day only นะครับ for example in here นะครับ that you have no class นะครับ but in here you can see that there are 2 days นะครับ that you have no class so what should we do you can see that in here นะครับ from our function we say that we compare นะครับ B68 นะครับ with this one it must be hang on G26 not J26 นะครับ G68. Okay, G68. Okay, yeah. When you have this already, you say that, oh, we have 2 days. What should we do? You have to use these functions to help and or and not, but you have to consider. We say that the day that you have no class is Friday as well as Thursday. The way that you have to use is that because you know that B68 equals to G68 here is the logical test, right? Then you just put and in here or in here or not in here. Suppose you put like this, B68 equals to H68. Then you close the parenthesis. Writing down the thing like this is to complete the AND function in here. You can see that in here when I just put this there is something wrong, because you can see that even though it shows a result to you that either I have class or I have no class, but you can see that none of these days show that you have no class at all. That means the new thing that you add in, that is AND function, is wrong here. The way that you have to do is that you have to check whether you have class or not. And we said that we have no class on Friday as well as Thursday. It means that or Thursday, not and Thursday. Friday or Thursday, we have no class. In this case, that's why it makes this calculation or decision making to be wrong. Let me just change from and to be or like this. You can see that right now it's correct already. Either Thursday or Friday, I have no class. So that's why in this case you have to consider using or function. Okay, so let me just copy this formula for you in the chat box. Okay. Because we would like to consider that, okay, in this case, we have more than 1 day that you have no class. Then we have to use the function like this. Okay. Okay. So in this one, if you want to use not, in what case, what are we going to do? Okay. So we say that, okay, if you remember this one, I said that, okay, I just would like to give 1,000 baht on the money that you have class, and half of it on the rest of the on other days. You can see that I put the if function to be like this. Okay. In this one, hang on. Okay, this is what we have got. You can see that in here. This part tell us that, okay, if this one is matched, you give half of, if it is the day off, you get half of 1,000. Otherwise, you get 1,000 baht. Okay, but you can see that in this one we change our function a bit. I said that, okay, we said that we use and we use or function because it is possible that we have 2 days that you don't have class. So in this case, I say that, okay, if or open parenthesis B68 equals to J26 comma B68 equals to H69, 69 not J26 นะครับ it must be H69 ครับ close parenthesis นะครับ we give the money นะครับ we give the money J28 divided by 2 in this one I just change it a bit G70 นะครับ it is G70 otherwise we give G70 okay so this is the if function that we have got ครับ now I just like put it in this one ครับ this one let me just check B68 I put the wrong cell sorry B68 equals to H G67 68 sorry okay there must be something wrong again G68 or H68 sorry I put the wrong cell okay that's correct already this is a formula that I have to use for anyone who didn't have this example before นะครับ I copy the text of the question in your chat box นะครับ right okay so for the function here นะครับ you can see that we can see the cash that we receive already นะครับ okay so in this one somebody said that okay in this one นะครับ how do you gonna use not function for not function in here as I told you it switch from true to false false to true นะครับ if I just put not in front of all นะครับ this is possible as well นะครับ we can have like and or not in the same level in the same cell like this นะครับ if I put not นะครับ means that when I got 1000 before I will get 500 instead any day that I get 500 I get 1000 instead let's have a look ครับ in this one I just put not in front of all นะครับ and then I copy see any day I get 5,000 I'll get 1,500 instead and on the other way around on the day that I used to receive 500 I receive 1,000 this is the way that we use not to help นะครับ it just like twist นะครับ the fact from true to false from false to true นะครับ this is the way I did นะครับ so one thing that you can see is that when I put and or and not in this one นะครับ in conjunction with the if function you can see that or is a function and is a function not is a function as well but when I start inside my Excel cell นะครับ why don't I put equal sign in front of this function because นะครับ the answer is that whenever you have to use any equal sign ครับ that is to start the cell or to begin the cell only นะครับ if you have more than one function inside that cell นะครับ one equal sign at the beginning character of your cell is enough นะครับ but some of you say that hey but inside I see many equal sign in there what does it mean these kind of equal sign they are comparison นะครับ they are not mean to start the cell นะครับ this is comparison in the logical test นะครับ B68 equals to G68 or not นะครับ this is comparison so that's why it's not related to this equal sign ครับ it's different meaning okay right okay this is like the use of the example of an or and not function นะครับ whenever you would like to combine any calculation นะครับ any logical test in the same cell normally you may use an or and not to help นะครับ like this one okay right okay then up to this point do you have any question ครับ for an or not all right if you don't have any question นะครับ let me just like show you for the e-learning screen a bit นะครับ okay so right now นะครับ I think that you are ready for doing many exercises already นะครับ so I would like to assign you for the exercise นะครับ the assignment I mean just won't be long so I want you to do what is share screen yeah okay I want you to do exercise number 1 to number 5 นะครับ this one now I want you to submit it from question number 1นะครับ you can use if function to do นะครับ okay for exercise number 2นะครับ for exercise number 2 this one is if function as well the nested if ones นะครับ for number 3นะครับ for number 3 is nested if function as well นะครับ number 4นะครับ is the what to say the financial functions and for number 5นะครับ number 5 is the financial function as well so I want you to use this one นะครับ to use the function นะครับ just hang on so in this one นะครับ for anyone who cannot access to this e-learning นะครับ please go to this link นะครับ I just like send you the link because I think that the one in Sky นะครับ that I told you for the e-learning I'm not sure which one what happened to that one นะครับ but please use the new one instead นะครับ the course is ended with ID 379 นะครับ in here นะครับ then you should be able to access to it so when you get this one นะครับ the thing that I want you to do is that I want you to submit this one to me นะครับ I want you to submit this one to me let me just like change the date a bit okay okay so in this one นะครับ I would like you to submit it to me นะครับ just want you to submit it to me before Sunday midnight นะครับ by midnight นะครับ so please do it นะครับ and then submit it to me before midnight of Sunday นะครับ the things that please do it to me is that I want you to submit to me นะครับ hang on 5 files นะครับ 1 file per 1 assignment นะครับ that means you have like EX01 to EX05 นะครับ and then you have like 6x8 xxxx dash your name dash ex followed by the question number นะครับ so that means please submit it to me 5 files นะครับ while 6x8 xxxx means you are student ID นะครับ and then you have dash followed by your first name followed by the exercise number นะครับ so and then you just like submit it to me นะครับ submit it to me right okay นะครับ so up to this point do you have any question ครับ anyone okay so if you don't have any question นะครับwe will see each other again I mean like let me just like check on the makeup class time that I can just help you to find out the makeup class time firstนะครับ so everyone could you please send meนะครับ could you please send me the what to say could you please send me the schedule that you have classนะครับ that you have class inside the Google form that I sent youนะครับ that I sent you in the line groupนะครับ so that I can just like set up the makeup class time for you and then I'll announce itนะครับ in both Sky system and also in our line groupนะครับ right okay so everyone if you don't have classนะครับ we meet each other again on the next timeนะครับ if possible I try to set up the makeup class time this weekนะครับ but if it is not possibleนะครับ I mean like for sure it will be after Wednesday for sure because on I mean like on this coming Wednesdayนะครับ, it's not allowed to have the makeup class so that means the fasted day will be either Thursday or Friday but if it is not possibleนะครับ, we will have the makeup class on next week instead but anyway we need to have like 3 makeup classesนะครับ as far as I knowนะครับ from now นะครับ for substitute the week for substituting the cancellation of the class on October นะครับ